And for those that don't know, because I know we're sharing, so I'm Brianna Carey. I'm a relationship and intimacy coach.
Mark Carey, same, and men's coach.
And then Kelsey
Beach, pelvic floor PT.
Yeah. And we are actually hosting an event together, a workshop coming up in a couple of weeks, where we are going to be talking about all of the things they don't tell you after you have a baby. You know, pelvic floor therapy, why it's important, and how it can impact your postpartum journey, how it can impact your relationship as well. And then we are also going to be talking about the shifts in the relationship dynamics and, how you and your partner can communicate differently and, how you can get back to intimacy, which I know is a big topic that can bring up a lot of tension, a lot of sadness, because couples start to feel disconnected during this part of their journey. And so we're going to be covering all of that, and we kind of wanted to, share some of that here with you guys today and share our journey with y'all. So.
Perfect.
Yeah. So Kelsey, I know we kind of had similar journeys and how we got into the space that we're currently in. So that was after we both had our first baby. So I would love to hear more of your journey into what you do today.
Yeah. So my journey started when I opened the business in 2020, and I was pregnant with my first child, opening a business. And I had zero intention of working with the mom, or like the very acute phase of like pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. I had an intention to work with moms who were further out in their postpartum journey, really getting into sports and athletics. But during my journey, I figured out, oh my gosh, like no one's having conversations with like the acute mom saying, oh yeah, this is actually what's happening to your body during pregnancy, during birth, and during your initial like immediate postpartum phase. And I was just blown away. I mean, it was so strange that so many women have gone through this, going through this, and we're just not talking about it. It's kind of like this conversation that like you should just know the language of it, and it's the most foreign language conversation to me. So I completely revamped my business, geared it towards the mom in the acute stage, and Encore became a clinic based on pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. And it's been a ride. I mean, since then I've had a second child. I have learned so much more about this phase of my life and how I empathize so much differently with patients, and really just learned on the conversations that are not being had to really had an effect like on what's going on with the maternal brain and body.
It's so important because after both of my pregnancies, not once was pelvic floor therapy recommended. And I know this is like a whole soapbox that you can get on for another time. Like, let's change the world and like get pelvic floor therapy, like a part of, women's postpartum care. But yeah, my journey kind of, if I would have known about pelvic floor therapy, our journey would have been completely different. And so, after we had our first kid in 2015, I was experiencing extreme like vulvar pain. I had a 2nd-degree labial tear. My midwife at my 6-week appointment is like, you're all good to go. And not once did she mention scar tissue healing or how to properly things that could be coming out, pelvic floor therapy, nothing. And so that led us down kind of a really dark path for a little bit, at least for me, because I'm, the woman internalizing what, I'm not a good mom, I'm not a good wife, I can't be intimate with my partner and all of these things. And this is something that I really started hearing from other women and realizing like they don't tell us how to nurture your relationship and how to get back to being intimate again after you have a baby. You don't just get to go back. You're not the same people you were before.
No. They just release you to the wild at 6 weeks.
Yeah. Here you go. You're like, what is that?
Other, especially in the orthopedic world, no one's getting released from anything at 6 weeks. Like, cesareans, vaginal births, these are huge things that your whole entire body is going through. Like, no other surgical intervention or hospital-based intervention is like, oh yeah, 6 weeks, you're fine to just do everyone with no guidance whatsoever. Like, I mean, I've had it, hip surgery, knee surgery, ankle surgery, and everyone's like 12 weeks, like minimum.
And you can then have therapy for that.
Yeah, and then there's a whole protocol. Like, here's this whole protocol of how to ease back into your sport. Like, but with postpartum, like, and whether we say like intimacy is a sport that you have with your partner, like there's no protocol, there's no plan, there's nothing. It's just like, yeah, just go do whatever you want.
Yeah. And it can be really disheartening for a lot of women that I talk to, that we work with, that they feel like there's something wrong with them. And that couldn't be further from the truth. It's there's something wrong with society not telling you that this is, you know, common, and how to ease back into things. And so that is what we are going to be sharing at this workshop. And this workshop is going to be virtual and in person. So if you are local to Kansas City, come see us. We are going to be sharing all of this knowledge, how you can communicate with your partner, how to understand your body after having a baby. And it doesn't have to be immediate postpartum. Like, you work with women. I mean, postpartum is anytime after you have a baby.
Yeah. It's forever.
It's forever. Postpartum. Exactly. And so I think, you know, it's not just if you're having issues, it's also like preventative care, which is so important. And you talk a lot about that too.
Yeah. And we've been seeing a lot more of that in clinic, and just educating moms. Like, there is no bounce back. Like, you're never going to bounce back to the body that was before you had a baby. And that's fine. But here is what this looks like now. And here's what your new body postpartum looks like, especially moms who are nursing. Like, your hormonal shift of prolactin to estrogen is completely different, which has a huge effect on your vulvar healing, your vulvar moisture, like lubrication stores, odors. All of that is stuff that no one wants to have a conversation about. But every kind of patient I work with, they're like, yeah, should I smell? I'm like, like, normal.
It's normal.
Completely part of the game. And they're like, well, no one told me. And like, how do I even get back to intimacy? And so I love just teaching moms about what's going to happen to the physical body. But I'm so excited to join up with you guys, because then you guys are take it a whole step further, talking about the relationship. Like, I can't treat that. I know I like the tip of the iceberg, like barely the tip of the iceberg. So I love having other providers that can say, actually, now let's talk about dynamics of like mom to partner, because that is a conversation OBs are definitely not talking about. Usually the best piece of advice you're going to get it from an OB about that is have a glass of wine.
Yep. That was the advice given to me. Have some wine, relax. You'll be fine.
Not research based at all. Like,
don't worry about the pain.
Yeah,
don't worry about that.
Numb out. Yeah. Like, don't worry about it.
Just get drunk. Which, first off, is bad for the physical body. Like, but so talk to me about kind of what you guys are gonna really hone in on the workshop with, and clue us in what we can expect.
Yeah. So, you know, the couple journey, the man's journey is different than the woman's journey. She's taking care of a kid, naturally becomes primary provider, especially breastfeeding, that type of stuff. The man is trying to figure out his space, what he's to do, how to connect with his partner, touched out, you know, all these things we hear about. And we kind of have a timeline that we've outlined what couples typically go through for the first year after having babies. And then that at that point, about 1 year, is when things really start to pick up in the relationship. If we start to put some effort into it and start to rebuild that, we have more space to do that.
Yeah.
It's really hard, you know, very early, and it gets a little bit easier, more accessible. And so talk a lot about, you know, what that typically looks like, how you can do that, how you can support that. And then our part is going to be a lot of, you know, interaction based. let's do this together. Let's connect this way. Because, there's a lot of concerns and conflict that happens after having babies, because we have our family history, what we think it's going to look like after we have babies, and we both have a different view of that, and so that has to come together. And it's the solution for disconnect is connection. And so our portion will be a lot about connection, building deep connection in the moment. We're going to do it with you in person and guide you through these exercises to have connection, deep connection.
Yeah.
So
that you can take and then you can implement at home. And I think that's the other thing. I love that Mark adds the male perspective, because we don't talk about how dads can go through postpartum depression and they're feeling kind of lost in the mix, because it is all about, mom and baby bonding, and really dad's, role in that is not supporting mom. And, I hear sometimes a lot of couples or women will be like, well, they're not bonding with the baby and they won't. And I'm like, they're not meant to at this point, biologically speaking, they're not meant to have that deep connection. You are. And how can they support you? So we talk about how to support one another, how to speak a common language, so to speak, and how to integrate intimacy in baby steps, rather than it just be like intimacy is sex. That's become synonymous. Like 6 weeks, you're good to go. You can go have sex, and that's not it. And so how can we build that intimacy in, so then that way when you are nearing that 1 year part and you're really feeling that connection again, and you're feeling like you're yourself, and you can really lean into that connection again. And so we just take them through that journey. And I think a lot of it is bringing the awareness of what they will be experiencing, because again, it's not talked about. So it's all kind of like a surprise, and then it's jarring, and then you're like, what do we even do with it? So bringing that awareness, letting them know that it's common, that they're experiencing this, and what they can expect moving forward. So
I'm excited because I'm still in the trenches as well. Our baby's only 10 months, and so we are coming up on that year, and our relationship has been so different since we had Baker. And we had a quick back-to-back, like just 2 years apart. And so we're still really learning, and we're done having kids. So I've told my husband, I was like, I can't wait to date you again.
yeah.
Yes. I am so excited to actually date you again, because we've just been like two boats, like passing in the night ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That's literally what it's like. It's like,
hi. So I'm excited to learn too, because our relationship is about to change, because we're no longer in our fertile season. We're a parenting season, and we get to get back to each other now. And so I can't wait to even take away from what you guys are going to learn for myself and apply it to the journey that I am walking through right now with everyone else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, for anyone that watches this, there's a lot of ability to have an amazing relationship on the other side. I feel the most connected to this beautiful woman that I ever have. We have I won't go too far. I won't embarrass you. We enjoy ourselves. That's close enough. Yeah. The ability to move together in unison and go towards your desires and dreams, rather than making all your decisions out of fear and conflict. It's just such a beautiful process when we support parents afterwards. Like we've been supported, we've got that, and we just want to pass that along. It can be even better.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too, kind of on what you're saying, and off of that is this point in your life is such a beautiful journey, and I think it gets clouded because again, we aren't aware of all of the obstacles that we're going to be coming up against. We're just talked about, mom healing, breastfeeding, or, you know, taking care of baby. And so you miss out on that beautiful journey of connecting and seeing each other grow, and as each of you grow and as a parent, as an individual. And so that, like, you get to connect through this beautiful, because you had a family together.
Yeah.
You had a vision of what that might look like, and we want to help you enjoy that vision. And so, yeah, we're just super excited to be partnering with you. Aw, puppy. And to be sharing all of this knowledge, you know, with those that come to the workshop. And it's really, really powerful stuff. So.
I agree. I cannot wait for this. I've been wanting to have this workshop for over a year. Yes. Even longer than that. I think I wanted to do it, I think, when I first got pregnant again with me. So back, I mean, a year and a half later almost, so I'm ready to do this. I'm excited to do it. And can't, you know, educate the community on that. It's okay to be a touched out mom, and it doesn't have to break your relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and I just want to add, you know, we're focusing on new parents and that type of thing, but any partnership that came to this would benefit from our piece. You know, so it's a lot of fun. It is connection is the best foreplay. So we will provide that for you, and what you do with that afterwards is up to you. So
playing for a babysitter. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm so looking forward to this collaboration, and to bring all this knowledge. So
I am as well. So Bree, since the sign up is through your guys' page, let's kind of let people know how they can sign up.
Yes. So they can go to intimacyevolution.com and then click on Return to Intimacy, and all of the information is on there and how to register. So again, we have the virtual option, which is $35, and then the in-person experience, which is $50. And again, like, you're going to get so much out of this. The live stream will, you know, you get to be interactive with us, ask questions. This is your time to, like, ask us all of the things. You have 3 professionals that have been through everything that you're experiencing. So, like, you know, ask us all of the things. So yeah.
Well, we hope to see whoever can be there, and we can't wait to learn with you guys.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kelsey, and we look forward to seeing you all there.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.